Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 9 of this tactics testing series. This is the penultimate tactic we're testing. We are playing with what I would deem to be a bit of an unconventional 4-2-2-2. This tactic is called In the Sun. You can download it from the link in the description below. It is named after a song title. Through your guesses in the comment section, see if you can guess the artist, and I will reveal at a later stage. First of all, let's get a look at the tactic and the instructions. So as we can see, we've gone with a 4-2-2-2. It's a very narrow system. We're playing with a custom tactic style. We're playing with a positive mentality. In possession, we are playing with a fairly narrow structure. We're playing out of defence through the middle, and we're going to overlap the fullbacks on the two wings. We're going to play much shorter passing, a slightly higher tempo. In the final third, we're going to put mixed crosses into the box. We're going to whip the ball into the box as well. Or we're going to work the ball into the box, sorry. We're going to play for set pieces, and we're also going to run at the defence as well. In transition, we are going to counter press, counter attack. We're going to distribute the ball to the centre back and the full backs as well. Out of possession, we're going to play with a high line of engagement. We're going to play with a standard defensive line. We're going to trigger press much more often. We're going to prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and we're going to get stuck in as well. So that's the team instructions. A quick look at the player instructions. We have a goalkeeper on defend duty, no additional instructions there. In left back and in right back, we have full backs on support duty, no additional instructions. And in centre back, we have two central defenders, both on defend, no additional instructions. In the defensive midfield spaces, we have an anchor midfielder on defend duty, no additional instructions. And we have a segundo volante on support duty, no additional instructions as well. In the attacking midfield spaces, we do have an attacking midfielder on support and an advanced playmaker on support as well. As you can see, both of them, no additional instructions. We are keeping this very, very basic. And up front, we have a deep line forward on support duty, and he will be partnered by an advanced forward in attack duty. And again, no additional instructions on both players. So we're keeping this very basic. We're kind of letting the game engine, the match engine do its thing. And we're hoping that positionally, this will prove to be somewhat successful for us. So that is the team instructions and the player instructions. Let's have a look through Man City squad first of all to see how we get on. As we can see, Erling Haaland coming in there, he does need a little bit of a rest, but he has come away with 71 goals in 62 games. It's not the best return he's had. As we can see there, Foden, De Bruyne and Alvarez all contributing double figures as well. Quite a lot of goals throughout the rest of the team. Only Cancelo, Kyle Walker are the only outfield players not to contribute. So a quick look at the data hub first of all. As we can see in the attacking spaces, we've played very well overall in attack. Obviously we've essentially got 4 men up front really. And as you can see defensively, it's been below average as well. We're pretty good defensively, conceding less than a goal a game. In terms of interceptions, blocks, clearances, fouls made, we're less than average for the league. Generally speaking, general performance, we are average in some parts, a lot better than average in other parts compared with the other teams in the Premier League. So let's look at the competitions. We'll start first of all with the Community Shield, where of course we did play Liverpool. We've come away there on the back end of a 5-1 defeat, so not very pleased with that. We go on to look at the Carabao Cup. We've come away second place in that as well, runner up to Chelsea in the final, who beat us 3-1. We went on then to play in the FA Cup, where we did reach the final as well, and we've come away there with a 3-1 victory against Aston Villa. So delighted with that. One of the big targets though is the Champions League final, and we've come away there with a 2-1 win in extra time against Real Madrid. In the semi-final, we beat Bayern Munich. In the quarterfinals, we beat Spurs, even as a Spurs fan, a little bit surprised they got that far. And in the knockout round, we beat Juventus as well. In the group stage, as we will see here, we've come second in the group to Barcelona, beating Monaco and Napoli as well. On then to the Premier League, and it's unfortunately it is a second place finish we've come away with this time. As you can see there, Haaland scoring 50 goals in the 38 games, very impressive again. He does have the highest average rating as well. And Bernardo Silva coming in with the joint most assists for the season with Christian Eriksen and Alan Saint-Maximin. Obviously, Erling Haaland coming away with the most player in the matches with 15, and Ederson coming in with 16 clean sheets as well. So almost half the games he's kept clean sheets in. Second, obviously, to Alisson in first place. Joao Cancelo picking up the second most amount of yellow cards, third most really. So a lot of bookings again for Cancelo. As you can see in the league, we've come away there. We're 85 points, so we're 15 points below Liverpool, who did beat us twice in the league this season, the only team to do a double overs. We are looking at games against West Ham, Newcastle, and particularly Nottingham Forest, who were finished bottom of the league. We probably should have done better in those games. We did draw quite a lot of games as well. I mean, Nottingham Forest again taking 4 points off us. Brentford taking points, Palace, Wolves, Villa, Fulham, all those games really we should have picked up more than a point. And in doing so, we may have gone on to win the league, but it didn't work out that way, and that's what it is. So we've done pretty well there with Man City. We've won 2 trophies. We've come second and third in 3 of the competitions. So it has been. It's still. I'm still very pleased with that. You know, we've won the Champions League, and that's what Man City want more than anything. So it worked out very well for us with Man City. Let's jump down to the Championship and get a look at Birmingham. As we can see straight away there, Scott Hogan coming in with 25 goals for the season, and Troy Deeney with 15. A quick look at the data hub, and it's much the same. You know, very good in attacking spaces, not good defensively. In general, overall, we're above average compared with the rest of the league. Quick looking at the competitions, we went out of the Carabao Cup in the second round to MK Dons, we went out of the FA Cup in the third round to Chelsea, and in the Championship we were predicted to finish, I think is it 14th, 17th, sorry, so we were predicted to finish 17th, and we've ended up finishing there in 7th place. We're only 3 points away from the promotion, from the playoff spots. Looking at some of the results here, I think some of those teams we definitely probably should have done better, and if not in any of the 12 defeats, certainly in at least 3 of the games we drew, maybe we could have picked up a couple of extra points there. Turning 2 of those draws into wins would have been enough, and I'm looking particularly at Stoke, who got relegated, and Wigan, who are just escaped relegation. Games we probably should have won, and that would have been enough to get us into the playoffs. But we've done very well. We predicted to finish in 17th. We finished in 7th. If this, as I've said previously, if this was a rebuild I was doing with Birmingham, I'd be very, very pleased with that success. So that's how we got on with Birmingham. Let's jump down to League One and get a look at Portsmouth. As we can see straight away, Ronan Curtis coming in there with 17 goals of the current squad. We did, of course, have Dane Scarlett on loan. And as we can see, they're not as impressive as it has been in previous tactics tests. He's played 36 games. He scored 14 goals. He's got 4 assists as well. So he has done very well for us, just not as well as he has done previously in all our tactics. Looking again at the data hub, you know, very good in attack, not so good in defence. And generally speaking, we're performing above average compared with the other teams in the league. Looking at the competitions, Papa John's Trophy, we've gone out in the northern section. Carabao Cup, we've gone out in the first round in Norwich. And in the FA Cup, we've gone out in the first round to Sutton United. And in the League One itself, we finished up there in 12th position. Looking at the season preview, we're expected to finish in 10th. So 12th is kind of okay. It's not ideal. It's obviously below the target. Again, looking at some of the games we've lost here, we've lost 16 games in total, so almost a third of the games, a little over a third of the games, sorry. Looking at games against Forest Green there, Burton, we've dropped points. So even at that, you know, if we'd have won 2 of those games, we'd have had 6 extra points. We would have been 10th place, maybe 10th, 11th place, maybe 10th, depending on goal difference. And there's not a big stretch from 10th place right up to 5th place. There's not a lot of points in it. So maybe we could have done better in some of the games had we not been simulating them and had we actually been playing them and making tactical changes and so forth. So we've done, it's been average with Portsmouth, to be honest. In terms of stats, nothing much to boast about other than Conor Ogilvie picking up the joint most yellow cards for the season. Not much else going on in the other stats. Let's jump down to League Two and see how we get on with Rochdale. Of course, Rochdale, as you may remember, are expected to finish bottom of the league. Quick look at the stats. We can see here Ball and Kelly coming in with 10 goals each. We did, of course, have Scott Quigley in on loan from Stockport. He contributed 9 goals, so it's not his best return in any of these tactics tests. Looking at the data hub, it tells the same story. It's been this has been probably the closest. We're, as the instruction says, they're performing pretty close to average statistically. It's not been the best of the 4 teams, but it's still roughly about average for the league, which is not bad considering we're expected to finish bottom of the league. Looking at the competitions, Papa John's Trophy, we've gone out in the northern section. Carabao Cup, we've gone out in the 3rd round, so we've made a little progress through that. FA Cup, we've gone out in the 2nd round, and in League 2 we finished there in 14th place. Looking at that, we have won we've won 18, we've drawn 10, we've lost 18 games. So some of the results there, I mean, this is only a quick snapshot of some of the results, but there are a few teams there that we probably could have beat to gain a few extra points. We finished on 64. Even 2 more wins could have taken us as high as 8th place, goal difference depending, maybe 9th. And even a 3rd win could have potentially put us into the playoff spots as well. So it's been okay, but as we mentioned, the season preview has actually changed now. We were expected to finish 24th. We were expected to finish in 22nd. We're still expected to get relegated. So we were, and we've managed to come away with a 14th place, almost halfway finish. So this tactic has been pretty good. It's certainly not been the best one we've tested so far in this series. There is one more to go before we finish, and then at the end of that episode we will do a review on all the remaining the tactics that we've tested so far and which one scored the most. That is it for now. As mentioned, you can download the tactic from the link in the description below. Please do leave your comments, let us know how you're getting on with the tactic. As mentioned earlier, you can take a guess at the song title for the tactic and see if you can guess the artist from that. But that is it for now. Until us, we will see you in the next one. Thank you and take care. Thank you for watching this video. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below and you will be notified when new videos are available. You can of course like, share and comment as well. In the meantime, you can catch one of these recommended videos appearing on screen, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, thank you and take care.